Hello there, I hope you are doing well. So in this tutorial, and this is gonna be very first tutorial of LangGraph and I would say generative AI. So in this tutorial, we are going to understand what is LangGraph, what is LangChain, what is LangSmith, and we will set up initial environment of LangGraph application. So first of all, let me tell you what is LangGraph and why we use it and what is the core use case of LangGraph in industry. So we use LangGraph to create agents and agentic applications, generative AI chatbots, and it basically provides us a flow to orchestrate multiple components, multiple complex graphs, or I would say flows to each other. And let's suppose you want to create an automation for your personal tools, in which let's suppose you want to make a chatbot that should be connected with your email, with your Slack, with your Google Calendar. Then you can use LangGraph and you can create sub agents and one supervisor agent as a chatbot and sub agents as your tools, and you will be able to orchestrate or chat with your tools directly from chatbot. Let's suppose, hey, how many meets do I have today? Can you please retrieve latest message from my Slack channel? Can you please tell me what is my calendar today? Can you please let me know what email I have got today? So this is something, there is a lot of other use cases, but we will gradually understand everything. So first of all, I will move here and we will set up LangGraph environment, and so this is going to be our repo for LangGraph, and I would suggest you to clone it and also fork it, and you will be able to get all the tutorials in this repo. I have already explained the readme file in which I have explained to create virtual environment and install the dependencies, and also you will need some API keys that I will explain through tutorial. So first of all, let's come over here and let's follow our readme file, and in this we will just set up the initial environment, and then we will also go through the code, and I will tell you the concepts of each line of code as well. So first of all, I am on Mac, so I will use this command to create a virtual environment. So yeah, and then I will use this command to activate it. Okay, and then I will install the dependencies, and I will take help of cursor. Hey, can you give me commands to install requirement.txt? So it will provide us the command. So I will use this command to install the requirement.txt, all the dependencies into requirement.txt. So let these dependencies installed. I will tell you about my repo. So you will need to copy this link, and you will need to clone this repo in your system, in your computer, and you take help of GPT how to clone a repo if you don't know, and you will be able to get all the tutorial that I will push here, and you will just need to get pull on daily basis or whenever I upload a new tutorial. And so yeah, I have already explained if you are on Windows, so you will need to use this command for creating virtual environment, and you will need to use this to activate, and also PowerShell, and then these API keys we need. For now, let's so we are done, and our dependencies are installed, and now what we'll need to do, we will need to compile this project into a package, so that we don't need to reinstall the package again and again, and we will use pip install e. It will compile our project into a editable package. Whenever we change anything in code, it will automatically be adjusted, and once done. So now first of all, let me give you a demo, and I'm going to do Control Z and LangGraph dev. So yeah, sorry, LangGraph dev. Yeah, so it will basically open the actual workflow that we have just created. But for now, just understand how things will be working and things are going to work. Later I will explain everything, okay, and we will do everything from scratch. For now, this is just an intro video, so I am just going to show. I have just said it hi and it said hi, how I can help you, okay. And this is LangSmith, okay, and so you will be needing a LangSmith API key because then you will be able to see this flow. You will be able to trace your project, okay. Let's suppose I just said hi. You will be able to track it, and you will be able to change the tokens and latency and everything. I will make another tutorial for LangSmith, but for now you just need to sign up on LangSmith, and I will here is an option to sign up, and you will need to click on sign up and just sign up on LangSmith. And once you will sign up, you will be able to get the API key. Let's click on it, and then inside settings you will need to click on create API key and give any name. Let's suppose I have already created. You will need to give any name, let's suppose less2, and you will click on create API key and you will copy this API key, okay. And once you will copy this API key, so you will need to follow let me show you this documentation. I will also link it, okay. And you will need to also copy these environment variables, and I have already added these here, so you will just need to copy from repo. And in repo, when you will navigate to env, in LangSmith tracing you will define it as a true. In LangSmith endpoint, you will just provide their key, provide your link, and in LangSmith API key, you will just paste your API key that you have just created. And in LangSmith project, you will give name to your project that you want to be shown here, that I have just set lesson 01 Chatbot. So this is something environment variables you will need to set. This is Anthropic API key because we are using Anthropic LLM. I will explain you this later. So once you will define these API keys and how you will get Anthropic API key, it is paid. If you can afford it, please get this API key and you will be able to get API key from get Anthropic API key. And here is the documentation, get API key, and here you will need to click on console, and you will need to sign up and add your credit details, and you will be able to get so first, once you will get the Anthropic API key, LangSmith API key, and environment variables already I have explained. For LangSmith tracing, you will need to set these environment variables. So you can just I will define rest of the environment variables here. You will just need to get your LangSmith API key, which is free, and Anthropic API key, which is paid, okay. And if you have OpenAI API key, you can also use that, and we will learn about that key or OpenAI later. In this tutorial, we are going to focus on Anthropic API key, okay. So LangGraph.json file is already adjusted, and I have already defined it. It is basically needed to run the LangGraph on LangGraph CLI or LangGraph platform, like we have basically run this chatbot here, and you will be only able to run it over here if you will set up this LangGraph.json. In LangGraph.json, you will just need to set dependencies that you are going to install inside this project, lesson 01, and then your environment variable file, Python version which you are going to use. I am going to use 3.11, or you can use 3.12 or 13 as well, but I would recommend 3.11. And you will just need to provide a path of your graph. So lesson 01 is our directory, this one, and graph.py is our file inside this, and then here is our graph, which is basically our compiler, which we can invoke on LangGraph Studio, or we can integrate it with our UI. So for now, this was just setup or environment setup video, and this is setup.py file, almost same as that of LangGraph.json. When you will need to run pip install e, and you are going to compile your project into editable package, then you will need to set up this setup.py file, which I have already provided here in my repo. So you don't need to do anything, and whatever I will need to do, I will update this based on the lessons, and you will be able to git pull it. And yeah, setup.py is already here, requirement.txt is already here, LangGraph.json is already here, readme I have already explained. And yeah, you just need to clone this, and then in next video I will explain this project that we have just run on LangGraph Studio, this one. In next video I'm going to explain this, how it is working, and what is the purpose of this code, how this code is basically working, and what each line of code is, what kind of function each line of code is performing, what is the state graph, what is this typed annotated messages, init chat model. We are using chat anthropics on it. So this is just an intro video. Again, let me tell you these steps. First of all, you will need to clone my repo. Once you will clone this repo, create a virtual environment that I have already explained in this readme file. Why virtual environment? Because virtual environment will help you not to create conflicts within your system. In virtual, what is the purpose of virtual environment? The purpose of virtual environment is you can install all the dependencies in isolated environment. Because in your system, environments will not be installed in your system, but it will be installed in virtual environment, which will be in your system but in an isolated environment. Okay, and then you will need to set up this .env and need to set up these keys. Okay, you will need, I have already explained how you will get this Anthropic API key. So next video I will explain you this code, and we will execute it again. We will understand everything about these functions. Thank you.